ingredients used for the dough are refined flour, yeast, grain sugar, fat, salt, and water. Ingredients for the sauce are tomatoes, onions, garlic, leeks, celery, basil, tomato puree, seasonings like mixed herbs, chili flakes, and oil. Now first we're going to start with the sauce. I'm going to take a oil in a tray over here. We're going to roast this all these ingredients, so make sure the base is been nicely covered with the oil, otherwise there are chances that the ingredients might get burnt. I'm going to make a nice slit, crisscross slit at the base, and remove the eye of the tomato. All the tomatoes as we require, remove the eye over here like this, and make a crisscross slit like this. For all the tomatoes the same thing I'm going to do. Okay, the crisscross slit is basically so that it is easier for me to remove the skin of the tomatoes. Garlics, peeled garlic, just place it on the tray. Then basil, celery, leeks. All these are chopped. They come in a form of a stick. I've just chopped it smaller size. In 180 degrees Celsius for 20 to 25 minutes. Now you can see how the skin looks like. I'm just going to peel this off when it is hot only, and then I'm just going to puree all of this together, and then use it for my further further preparation of the sauce. Be careful. Okay, start with the oil over here in the pan. Nicely at the bottom, and just put onions inside it. I have chopped the onions already over here. Let the oil heat up a little bit. It has to be hot, and then I put the chopped onions inside it. I have to saute it nicely, make sure they are nicely golden brown in color. Okay, now over here, if you wish to if you see the sauce in the end, the sauce is going to be slightly grainy because I haven't pureed my onions over here. So if you wish to have the sauce nice, liquidy, in that case semi liquid you can say, in that case what you can do is you can cook the onions also, and all the mixture can be pureed together. So that is also an option. It depends on you how you want to do. You can see over here the onion is nicely cooked. Nicely they have become golden brown over here. This takes quite some time. Okay, now this is the tomato sauce with the baked one, which we was the pureed mixture that I'm putting inside over here, and I'm going to let this cook. Okay, keep cooking this. I'm going to add my tomato puree also over here, and I keep cooking this. Okay, because this is going to become thick. Now it's quite liquidy, and I'm also going to put all the seasonings also in over here, so that nice aroma and the flavor will come out of the sauce. Okay, so but make sure it is cooked on the slow flame. This takes quite some time. If you see the chunks over there, slightly brown thing is there, which I can see. Okay, so mixed herbs, salt, and chili flakes, all this can go inside in the mixture. Keep mixing it nicely, keep cooking it. It will become thick after a certain time. Okay, can you see this has become nicely thick now? Okay, the color also has slightly changed. Now we're going to make the bread over here. We started with the refined flour, and I've put yeast over here now. Then the sugar goes inside it. Light water. a little water can go inside it, and I'm going to start mixing this properly. Okay, keep mixing it, keep adding water slowly inside it, do not add all the water together. Keep mixing it again nicely and make a nice soft dough out of this. If you see, if you saw this, this is the normal bread roll recipe what we're using, but over here the amount of sugar and the yeast was less in comparison to what you have put before. Okay, like your normal bread roll recipe, because I don't want the pizza to be very, like this bread types, so that's the reason we have put less amount of yeast over here. Okay, keep kneading it nicely. Okay, keep kneading it like this nicely. Make a nice and soft dough. Okay, now we have done the doughs so many times, I'm sure you have got a nag of how exactly the doughs are to be made. Always remember, do not put the water all together, always put the water slowly inside it. Keep kneading also is a kneading is a very important factor which we have to remember. Without kneading, you're not going to get a good dough, or the final product also is not going to be good, so that's the reason it's very important that you knead it very nicely. Once you have got a nice and soft dough, I am going to put the fat and salt. I'm going to cream the fat and salt, and I'm going to add in this dough. Okay, I'm going to take my fat here and salt, cream it nicely, make sure there are no lumps inside in your fat also. If you don't have a fat, you can always use butter also, which is readily available, and just mix inside it. And kneading is again important over here. Make sure you knead it till all the fat is nicely incorporated inside it, because the most simple example, simple way of finding out whether it is properly kneaded or is not or not, is that how the dough is not shiny. Okay, which means you have nicely kneaded the fat inside it. Round it up, make a nice tight roll. Okay, and put this dough for proving. You have to prove it till it is doubled in size. Okay, and you put a damp duster on top of it. Again, a choice you can have, you can put damp duster or a vessel also. You can see it has doubled in size. Now I'm just going to remove this, and I'm going to knock back it, remove all the air which was there inside it, and divide it into 6 exact portions. Okay, because we want even size pizzas, that's the reason I'm going to divide it into 6 exact portions over here. Round it up, the dough has always have to be a little, tight. Always remember, not little, it has to be tight. Otherwise the loose roll will give you a wrong impression whether the right size is there or not. Or the very simple way is you weigh each individual all the doughs. Okay, but it becomes more, lot of time is time consuming it becomes. That's the reason this is the easiest way. Okay, if it is small or big, just divide it, cut it and divide it, and just round it up again. You have to be very fast also, otherwise the dough will start proving, and we can't do that. Okay, so just make sure, keep on. Once the tight roll is done, I'm now again going to put the damp duster on this till it doubles in size. Now these are the ingredients for the toppings. Pizza sauce we've already made, then seasoning, then mushrooms, capsicum, and mozzarella cheese. I'm going to slice the mushrooms and keep. All this has to be done before, by the time the dough is getting proved. I am going to do all the mise en place which is required. The slices has to be thin, they shouldn't be very thick. The similar way I am going to slice the mushrooms also over here. Grease the tray with the fat over here, melted fat. And I'm going to start, after this I'm going to start with the rolling of the dough. So the dough has been doubled in size, okay, and I'm going to just dust a little flour and I'm going to roll this. Do not keep it too thick, do not keep it too thin, okay. Around 4.5-5 inch it would be approximately, I'm saying. And this I'm going to place on the tray. All my 6 portions I'm going to place on the tray like this only. Use enough of flour, okay, for rolling. It's easier to roll with enough of flour. Again, too much is not good, too less also is not good, okay. And I'm going to place them on the tray like this. This is my last portion. If you can see here, I've rolled it nicely and made sure all of them are of the same size. I'm going to press this. Do not take again dock this also. Docking I'm going to do over here, okay. Now do not take too much time for rolling also. This will also start proving. Do not dock too much also, otherwise the sauce will come to the base. This is the sauce. Just I'm going to divide, put very don't put too much of sauce also, just a little bit of it, and divide it, okay, and spread this. If you see how I'm spreading this is that I'm just spreading it only in between, okay. I'm going to spread it only in between, divide it over here. Now spread it only in between. Sides I have left it like that only. If you see here like this, yeah, okay, a small portion of side, because when you bake na, it goes on the side and it looks very dirty, okay, because it is going to prove also. So that's the reason I am going to very carefully divide this. Be careful while spreading them. And I'm going to put all the vegetables over here. You can put different vegetables. I have chosen capsicum and mushroom. If you want to, you can also use chicken, you can use corn. Only make sure whatever you're putting has to easily be cooked, okay, or you put a cooked ones. Like in case of chicken, you will have to cook the chicken and put it on top of this. In case of corn, you will have to cook the corn, like no, and then only put on top of it. So it depends on what veggies you're putting over it. This will be easily, once it goes into the oven, it will easily get cooked. That's the reason I don't have to worry, so I'm putting it just like that. So that is how you choose the topping, okay. Do not use too much of topping also, just a little, enough that it is covered. And I've put, this is mozzarella cheese already grated. Even you get a small size of mozzarella cheese also, kind of shredded ones only. Those also you can use directly. You can use a mix of amul and mozzarella also. Now this, what I have done, I have made a seasoning of mixed up chili flakes and salt. In the first one I did not put that because not everybody is comfortable with that. That's the reason I did not put this thing, seasoning. So it's your choice how you want to do it. Some, now many people, the ones which are outside, they don't have all the seasonings in on top of it, so it is your choice. And this is how it looks after baking.